slouching. You know exactly what this looks like because you do it every single day. You sink into your chair, your lower back curves outward, your shoulders roll forward, your head drifts toward the screen. It feels relaxed, it feels natural. But here's what's actually happening inside your body. When you slouch, your spine abandons its natural S curve and collapses into a C shape. That shift puts enormous pressure on the discs between your vertebrae, the soft, cushion-like structures that protect your spine. A neutral spine distributes your body weight evenly. A slouched spine concentrates all that pressure onto the front edges of your discs. Over time, those discs get compressed unevenly. They start to bulge, and a bulging disc pressing against a nerve doesn't just cause back pain, it can cause shooting pain down your legs, numbness in your feet, and weakness in muscles you didn't even know were connected. But here's what makes slouching so dangerous. It doesn't hurt immediately. In fact, it feels comfortable at first. Your muscles relax because they've stopped working. But relaxed muscles aren't resting, they're slowly getting weaker. The longer you slouch, the harder it becomes for your back muscles to hold you upright at all. Your posture doesn't just look worse over time. It physically becomes incapable of being better without deliberate effort. The fix starts with awareness. Every time you notice yourself slouching, don't just sit up. Think about stacking. Stack your ears over your shoulders over your hips. One small reset, repeated consistently, begins reversing what years of slouching built. Forward head posture. Picture yourself watching something interesting on your phone or laptop. Without realizing it, your head drifts forward just a few inches. That's all it takes. But those few inches change everything. Your head weighs roughly 10 to 12 pounds in a neutral position. For every inch it moves forward, the effective weight your neck muscles must support doubles. At just 2 to 3 inches forward, which is completely normal for most phone users, your neck is essentially supporting the equivalent 40 to 50 pounds all day, every day. The muscles at the back of your neck tighten constantly just to keep your head from falling. They never fully relax. They work even while you sleep if your pillow isn't positioned correctly. Over time, this creates chronic tension headaches that most people blame on stress or screens, when the real cause is structural. The suboccipital muscles at the base of your skull stay permanently contracted, compressing the nerves that travel into your scalp. That tight, heavy pressure behind the eyes feeling you get after hours of screen time isn't eye strain, it's your neck, and it gets worse. Forward head posture gradually reshapes your cervical spine. The natural curve flattens. The vertebrae begin to remodel themselves around the new position. At that point, the damage isn't just muscular, it's skeletal. The fix is a simple wall exercise. Stand with your back flat against the wall, heels touching, and gently push the back of your head toward the wall without lifting your chin. Hold for 10 seconds. Do this daily, and you begin retraining the muscles that have forgotten what neutral feels like. Cross-legged sitting. This one feels completely harmless. It's comfortable, casual, almost meditative. But cross-legged sitting on a chair where one ankle rests on the opposite knee creates something called pelvic tilt. When you cross your legs, your pelvis rotates unevenly. One side lifts slightly while the other drops. Your spine, which sits on top of your pelvis, compensates by curving sideways. Your muscles on one side shorten while the other side stretches. Do this consistently on the same side and you begin training your body into an asymmetrical pattern. One hip becomes tighter, the other becomes weaker. Your lower back starts aching on a specific side, the same side every time, and you have no idea why. But the most underestimated consequence of cross-legged sitting is what it does to circulation. The pressure of one leg pressing against the other compresses the perineal nerve, a nerve that runs along the outside of your knee. When that nerve gets compressed for too long, your foot goes numb. You stand up and can't feel the floor. Most people laugh it off, but repeated compression of that nerve over years can cause lasting nerve sensitivity and weakness in the muscles that lift your foot. The fix isn't to never cross your legs. It's to alternate sides consciously and keep sessions short. And if you notice one side is always tighter than the other, that asymmetry is already telling you something. Perching on the edge. Some people sit on the very edge of their chair, leaning slightly forward, weight on their thighs, back unsupported. It looks alert, it looks engaged, but it's one of the most quietly damaging sitting habits there is. When you perch on the edge of your seat, your lower back loses its natural curve because there's nothing supporting it. Your spine has to hold itself upright entirely through muscular effort. At first, this builds some core engagement, but humans aren't designed to actively hold posture for hours. The muscles fatigue, and once they fatigue, you don't sit up straighter. You collapse forward even more than if you'd been slouching from the start. The pressure on your lumbar discs in this position is significant. Research has shown that sitting unsupported on a forward tilted surface generates more disc pressure than almost any other seated posture. There's also the thigh compression issue. Sitting on the edge means the full weight of your upper body transfers through your sitting bones and into your thighs. The femoral nerve and major blood vessels running along your inner thighs get compressed. After extended periods, circulation in your lower legs decreases noticeably. Your feet feel cold. Your legs feel heavy when you stand. The fix is simple but counterintuitive. Sit back fully, use the entire chair, and let the backrest do its job. Reclining too far back. On the opposite end of the spectrum, some people recline so far back in their chair that their body forms almost a straight line. It feels luxurious, like the ultimate relaxed position. But extreme recline creates its own set of problems that most people never connect to their sitting habits. When you recline at a very steep angle, your head must come forward to see your screen, which means you have recreated forward head posture just from a different starting point. Your neck is now extended forward while your back is tilted back, creating a disconnect in your spinal alignment. The muscles at the front of your neck, which aren't designed for sustained load bearing, start working overtime. And because the position feels comfortable, you stay in it longer than you'd stay in an obviously uncomfortable position. The hidden danger of extreme recline is hip flexor shortening. When your hips are extended back and your torso is tilted away, the hip flexors, the muscles connecting your lower spine to your thighs, settle into a lengthened position without actively stretching. Over time, they lose their ability to fully contract. When you stand up, they pull your pelvis forward into an anterior tilt. Your lower back arches excessively, and that arch, that constant low-level compression at the base of your spine, is where chronic lower back pain is born for millions of people who have no idea a reclining chair started it. Sitting with a wallet in your back pocket. This one sounds almost too simple to matter, but it has a name in the medical community. Wallet sciatica or piriformis syndrome, triggered by external compression. When you sit on a wallet, even a thin one, you create an artificial elevation on one side of your pelvis. Your pelvis tilts, your spine compensates. Your entire postural chain adjusts to accommodate that small, hard object beneath you. For people who drive long distances or sit at a desk for hours, that wallet creates a consistent, sustained pelvic imbalance that feeds directly into lower back and hip pain. But the more serious issue is sciatic nerve compression. The sciatic nerve, the largest nerve in your body, running from your lower spine down through each leg, passes very close to the piriformis muscle in your glutes. When your pelvis is tilted and your glute on one side is compressed for hours, the piriformis tightens and presses against the sciatic nerve. The result is a deep, aching pain in one buttock, sometimes radiating down the leg, that most people treat with stretching and pain medication without ever identifying the actual cause. Remove the wallet from your back pocket before you sit. That single change eliminates the problem entirely. Sitting with both feet flat but knees higher than hips. Most people don't think about where their knees are relative to their hips when they sit, but this relationship is one of the most important and most ignored factors in seated posture. When your chair is too low or your feet are elevated, your knees rise above your hips. This tilts your pelvis backward, called posterior pelvic tilt, which flattens the natural lumbar curve of your lower spine. Your lower back loses its arch and rounds outward instead. The discs in your lower spine get compressed at the back rather than the front, which is less common but equally damaging. What makes this particularly problematic is that it feels fine. There's no immediate discomfort signal. Your body simply adapts to the rounded position and your muscles gradually accept it as normal. Over months, your hip flexors lengthen and weaken. Your glutes stop activating properly when you stand and walk because they've spent hours in a position where they aren't needed. And weak glutes don't just affect your posture, they change your gait, increase your injury risk during exercise, and contribute to knee pain that seems completely unrelated to how you sit. The fix is chair height adjustment. Your hips should always be slightly higher than your knees. If your chair doesn't adjust, a firm cushion can raise your sitting height enough to restore proper pelvic alignment, sitting in the same position you've always sat in. The most dangerous sitting habit isn't one specific posture. It's the one you've repeated so many times that your body has stopped questioning it. Habits feel comfortable because your body has adapted to them, not because they're correct. Your muscles have shortened or lengthened around your most common position. Your joints have remodeled. Your nervous system has accepted a compromised baseline as normal. The pain you've normalized, the stiffness you ignore every morning, the headaches that appear predictably in the afternoon. These aren't random. They are your body reporting the cumulative cost of a pattern you've never examined. The good news is that the body is remarkably adaptable in both directions. The same plasticity that allowed it to degrade into a harmful pattern can be used to rebuild a healthier one, but it requires something most people resist: deliberate discomfort. Changing a deeply ingrained sitting habit feels wrong at first because correct posture is unfamiliar. Your muscles aren't used to holding the right position, so it feels like effort. That feeling isn't weakness. It's your body rebuilding what years of habit quietly dismantled. The question isn't whether your sitting habits are affecting you. They are. The question is how long you're willing to let them before you decide to change something.